Financial accounting, we are practicing our journal entries or recording transactions, or also you could say translating English into accounting, into debits and credits. And we know these are our debit-credit rules as they relate to the accounting equation. So here's the next one. It says we billed a client for lawn services. So we must be in a lawn service business. We've mowed their lawn and now we're billing the client or our customer. So let's think about this. What should we debit? What's increasing? Well, our increase is the customer's promise to pay me, which is an account receivable. So I'm going to debit accounts receivable because in the future I should get some cash. The credit, well, it sounds like I've performed some lawn services. So have I sold them some lawn services? Yeah. So let's call it services revenue. So instead of saying billed client for lawn services, I could just as easily have said debit accounts receivable, credit service revenue. Next one. It says made a rent payment for the current month. Now if I make a rent payment for the current month, I know that the landlord will only take cash as to pay the rent, right? They don't take chickens. So now I need to figure out what the debit is. I know it's rent. Now, it could be rent, an asset, prepaid rent, if when I was paying that rent, it was for future months. But we're paying rent for the current month. So am I using or consuming the rent this month? Yes. So instead of putting it in prepaid rent, where are we going to put it? Rent expense, because I'm using or consuming the current month's rent. So debit rent expense, credit cash is the accounting way to express that give debt or that transaction instead of saying made rent payment for the current month. Let's see what else happened. G, received cash from customers for lawn services. Received cash from customers for lawn services. Now, my question is this. Have I previously billed them? Or did I just mow the lawn and I refused to leave the premises until they gave me the money? Let's take that scenario. So in other words, this is a cash sale. So we're receiving cash from customers. So my cash is going to increase or debit, and I'm going to credit service revenue because I have rendered lawn services and I have immediately received cash. I didn't send them a bill. I got the money as soon as I rendered the service. Okay. What about paid employees' wages? Well, I love that verb paid because I immediately know what I'm going to credit. I wrote a check to the employees, right? So I'm going to credit cash. Now, I paid the employees, so should I call it salaries and wages? Is it prepaid? No, we've already used them, so it's what? Salaries and wages expense. So I'm going to debit salaries and wages expense and credit cash. Okay, let's do a couple more and I just won't write it down. Here's a toughie. Ordered equipment. Has there been a give-get? I just ordered it. Have I given them any money? Have I seen the equipment? No. So there is no entry for ordered equipment. Not until the title to the equipment passes. In other words, I received the equipment. So that was one. Now, here we go. The next one says, received and paid for the equipment ordered in I. So when I receive and pay for it, then I'm going to debit what? Equipment, the asset. So I'll debit equipment. And I paid for it, so I'm going to credit cash because cash is going down. Hope these are helpful.